Where'd you go? You're
Am
gone
I here?
forever.
I'm here? No, I'm here.
There you are.
Weird.
No,
Okay.
you froze and stopped,
Oh,
and I went, oh no.
I was eating a
And then I
sandwich.
remembered, no, that means I wouldn't have to talk to you anymore, and that
Yeah.
was nice.
Yeah, that's fair. Rhyme or free, it doesn't matter to me. It's my bad poetry. Good day, and welcome to My Bad Poetry, a podcast where we take a deep dive into our poems from youth, yesteryear, or even yesterday, always asking the question, why in the world did I write this? I'm Aaron.
And I'm Dave.
And today, we are looking at a poem from my high school collection.
Bum, bum, bum.
The last of the poems without a home that never featured in the Wolf Journal, but somehow made it into a typed edition. Dave, how you feeling about this?
I was just trying to come up with a portmanteau, hopo, mo, no? A poem without a home. I got nothing.
Oh.
That's the only way I can make it through this show when we don't have a guest, because the guests make this fun. And then you and I talking, yep.
You're just composing portmanteaus in your head all the time?
I was trying to think of something I could combine to be there, but I got nothing.
Now on to a whole nother portion of our podcast. The real part, where Dave shares his poem.
Big air quotes on that one today. So this is a haiku that I wrote today.
Color me shocked.
I know, in moments of frustration. Ooh. It's called WPS. And it does require, the middle line does require you to see that there are air quotes on every word. So I will try to emphasize that as this is an audio medium. So, WPS. Bane of simple technology. Wi-Fi. Protected. Set up. Easy, except not.
Well, amen to that.
Right?
Yeah. I've never had a WPS button work for me. It's just...
No.
It's like, get my computer set up to find it, and then I hit the button, and it just blinks forever. Yeah, I feel your pain. Speaking of, here's a poem I titled Death.
Death.
Well, here we go. From my high school self, for those who are just joining us on this journey. This is high school Aaron poetry here. Please don't judge me. Yeah.
No, judge him, but also prepare yourself. Like, take a couple deep breaths. If you have a therapist, please contact them directly after hearing any of Aaron's poetry, for your sake and for the sake of the world. I would also recommend, like, a nap. I don't know.
I was going to say a pillow to scream into. So, yeah, scream and then sleep.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Okay. So this is Death. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. Who will remember me when I am gone? Who will cry? Who will mourn? My life does not deserve to be cut short. Do not mourn while I am still present. What is after death? Death is the end of all things. Or is it the beginning of eternity? Have I done all that I could do? Have I accomplished my goals in life? Do not mourn my passing for long. There's an of there. Do not mourn of my passing for long. Do not let sadness keep you from your life. Accomplish all that you wish to do, as I have not.
It is more hopeful than I would expect.
Say more.
Well, it just feels like your influences in high school were all the, punk, emo, I just want to die kind of music.
Yeah.
And this is more a reasonable human response to the world.
Is it? I mean, I don't know.
It's a crappy poem, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's got a better take than other things I've seen in the world.
Okay. I have a theory by why you in particular like this poem. And it ties
No,
in.
stop it. Stop it. I did not say I like this poem. You cannot slander me in such a way.
Fair enough. I'm going to hold off that theory for a bit. Let's dive in here. I remember, and this is back in elementary school, so who knows what this says of me. I remember in elementary school thinking of like, if I were to attend my own funeral, who would be there? Like out of my classmates, and what would be said? You know, it's that kind of that Christmas, the Christmas no, what is that called?
What? Christmas shoes.
No,
the Christmas Carol.
Scrooge. Yeah, Christmas Carol.
Yeah, Christmas Carol.
It's like that in that he gets to see what people would say about him after he dies.
I would attend his funeral if lunch were provided.
But yeah, I mean, I think that was a thought that I had.
Yeah.
That I distinctly had. It's one of those questions that maybe we all think about it from time to time. It's like, what would someone say about me after I die? So I'm tapping into that question, but my gosh.
If it helps, I'm going to throw this one out there.
Okay.
In middle school, I tried journaling. Someone told me I should try journaling, and it can just really help you look at the world in a different way. And I got to like the third or fourth day of journaling, and I wrote something about how if I die, throw my body in a ditch and just leave me there to rot, and like I don't need a funeral or anything like that. And then a day or so later, I read that back and I went, oh, maybe I'm depressed.
Oh, gosh.
In that moment, it did not occur to me that that is what depression looks like. At least for me.
No.
So, I'm just throwing it out there. At least your perspective is, don't mourn too long, enjoy life. And mine was literally, let me rot.
Hey, they could still mourn. They're just being eco-conscious.
Yeah, right. Middle school Dave didn't even believe in climate change. That was a whole thing.
What I'm wondering about, or why was I exploring this idea of a life being cut short? And then the whole like thing at the end was accomplish all that you wish to do, as I have not. This is playing with the idea of a tragic death in one's youth.
Yeah.
I think it's not exploring like death comes sweetly. We're old friends at this point. This is death taking a life way too early.
Have you ever? I was about to ask if you have ever been in a graveyard.
Dave,
we're pastors.
We're pastors. Yeah. I think that's part of the job here.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a column in a graveyard that is broken?
Yes.
Yes. That is meant to be a representation of a life cut short.
Oh.
It's an unfinished column. And I learned that when I was in high school because there was a controversy because there was a grave that they fixed.
Oh.
And then family members came back and were like, no, he was 20-something when he passed away, and we did this on purpose, so you have to put it back.
Fascinating.
So weird.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But I think there's a lot of discomfort around dying young, as well there should be.
Yeah.
And there's a decent amount of poetry that is dedicated to that.
Yeah. So I'm just tapping into that stream of consciousness, or that style or question, making this a very unoriginal poem. Or universal.
Yeah, well, and I would go more in that direction. I was just watching an old cracked video. It popped up in the YouTube algorithm, but they were talking about how you have to discount all art that involves like teenagers, because all of that like media is trying to make things feel true about being a teenager, when not getting an invite to a party feels like the end of all things.
Right.
Like it
Right.
seems inauthentic when you're older, but that's how it felt in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that question that I brought up from like elementary school through high school of like, well, who would attend my funeral? Who would be upset if I honestly feel like that is one framework of trying to assess one's popularity
Yeah.
within high school. How popular am I? I think is kind of the question in the heart of this.
Yeah.
For youth.
Yeah.
Or never mind. I'm gonna take my cynical hat off,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say maybe this is a question of how loved am I, which is a different framework.
I am going to go in the opposite direction, because you said, how popular am I is a common issue in your youth. And I truly believe that it's not just youth.
Oh, fair enough.
There
Yeah.
are.
Okay.
I'm going way more cynical, that we are just as obsessed with popularity culture and celebrity culture as we age.
Sure.
It just
Sure.
turns into a different thing. Like, rather than who's the best musician or whatever, it turns into politics, or I don't know,
Still,
Oscars.
who's the best musician?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who lives, who dies, who tells your story, Dave?
I've never heard that before.
Oh, well, I think I just came up with it. It had a nice kind of rhythm beat. Maybe I'd set it to some music.
Yeah. Reminds me of like In the Heights or something like that.
Oh, I was thinking like of our founding fathers' history. You know, it made me
Like
think of that.
planting flowers in a garden you never get to see.
Yeah.
Okay. Cut. And scene.
And scene.
Yikes.
But no, you're right. You're right. The whole question of how will I be remembered? It's a bizarre question when you think about it.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is getting into whole like humility of like, would you do the good deed if it was never seen?
Yeah. That's kind of what I got from the have I done all that I could do? Because it's not just have I done all that I should do, but all I could do. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't actually. Could versus should.
Well,
Oh, should as in like an imperative of good,
yeah,
or like an ethical
what people
good.
are expecting of me, or what is required of me, and could is anything that would be possible within my range. So it's like the idea of, should I sell everything I have and give the money to the poor? No one is expecting that, but we should, kind of thing.
Or we could.
We could. Thank you. No one
Yes,
is expecting it, but we could.
It's so
It's possible.
It's kind of that. Yeah, it's that moral dilemma of like, if I could save one starfish that's come up on the sea. Do I feel guilty about the 10 that I can't get to?
Right.
That's what you could potentially do. But the should is like, well, that's what society expects of me. Yeah. Okay. It's interesting parse of words. I don't think I would go that route. Yeah, I like that question. So, do you want to hear my big theory on why this one hit you as like, oh, this is okay versus how dumpster fire?
I never said that this poem was okay.
I heard ringing endorsements.
Yes, please tell me.
Okay, well, this is gonna spoilers for the poem at the end of, but this poem in particular, I remember came out of a writing assignment in the 9th grade English class. 9th grade English was world lit. So we covered things like the Greeks and that kind of stuff versus like the American lit. That was more, I think that was junior high.
So is this Heraclitus or Aristophanes?
This would have been later in the year. And this is a bard that we all know. Will I Am?
Oh, Will I Was Shakespeare?
Yes. I believe that our assignment was to write a poem that kind of addressed a similar or explored a similar theme or something like that. And I found the poem that I am clearly ripping off. So that's why I think you like it, is because it's after Shakespeare.
I mean, everything you do is after Shakespeare because he was alive a long time before both of us, Aaron.
No, Dave, in poetry, when you write a poem and it's inspired by another poet, you put like a little italicized under the title that says like after, and then you can put the poet or the poem or the work. Yeah.
What?
It's an after poem.
Quite a misunderstanding for comedic effect, done very poorly.
Yeah.
Again, it's almost like I'm not a comedian or a poet. I'm just an idiot with a podcast.
Now I'm wondering, how to write an after poem. I'm calling it the right thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's fair. So with that all in mind, we've talked enough, Dave.
That's Aaron's way of saying I'm sick of you.
I'm tired. I have more to do today. Good or garbage?
Good or garbage is an important question that we must all face from time to time. And I feel as though, in all honesty and truth of being, we need to shine forth the raison d'etre of the Royfigné. I'm trying to be like one of your beloved YouTube videos that overemphasizes how smart it is, because I didn't understand any word I said. And I feel like that's a little bit like this poem, where it's just a teenager going, yeah, I can be Shakespeare.
I think all YouTube essayists that I appreciate should be offended by you.
Hey, I love many of the same YouTube essayists.
But I do agree. They do get a little flowery in their language from time to time.
I will say, this doesn't have to be in there, but FD Signifier, that's one of the reasons I love him so much, is that he will, on occasion, call himself out for being too flowery, and just like, that's not how people say things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to be honest here. This is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you nailed it.
Well, I might have given it away. And those in the poetry know probably the minute they heard this poem immediately knew what this was a reference to.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story?
You know, this was before Hamilton, Dave. This was
What's Hamilton?
We're gonna end this week, as we do every week, with the words of a true poet. This week coming to us from William Shakespeare. This is Sonnet 71. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so, that I in your sweet thoughts would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse, when I, perhaps, compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have been obsessed with All Creation Sings, the hymnal. So many good songs in there.
It's so good.
I love it. Death Be Never Last. Have you heard that one?
I don't think so.
The refrain, turning eyes now to their shining memory, to their faithful past. Saints be now the truth divining, death be now, but never last.
Ooh.
I love that line so much. It's Ray McKeever. He writes a ton of amazing stuff. But just that death be now, but never last. Like it's, everything sucks, but that's not where the story ends. And that's kind of where that reminds me of the Don't Mourn for Me, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, On This Night of 1,000 Stars. I'm trying to remember stuff from Evita now, but I thoroughly hate that musical.
Well, because it's Lloyd Webber.
Well, yeah, it's garbage. Sorry, that had nothing to do with anything, but...
No, that was good.
Shakespeare's good. Aaron doesn't know how to write poetry.
This has been My Bad Poetry.
Now go and write some of your own bad poetry. Hallelujah?
Praise be to God.
Praise be the Lord. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Rhyme free doesn't matter.